Morning, boys and girls. It's Friday the... Oh, have you moved over a bit? Have you moved over a bit? It's Friday the 22nd of February 2019. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from Bracknell in Berkshire. A very warm welcome along. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday. I didn't sleep well at all on Wednesday night. The reason for that is I hurt my wrist, which I'll come to in a minute. It wasn't so much the pain in the wrist, because I can probably work everything in here with one hand, to be honest, and I really couldn't use this hand much at all yesterday. It was the fact that I had so much trouble sleeping because of my hurt wrist that night, and I was so tired, and then I had doctors and things to do like that yesterday, so I'll come to that in a minute. All right, and but that's where I was yesterday. Sorry about that, gang. Shall we do the messages early first? There's a reason why I want to do the messages first, and that's because the first message of the day comes from the delightful Shania. A very good morning to you, Shania, and I'm glad I've got your first message today because I've just got the list of hymns for Sunday. Now, I'm not sure that I'm going to actually be able to do it on Sunday now because this hand is not working within its normal perimeters. I can move fingers and that, but to put pressure downwards is a bit painful. And I couldn't do it last night very well at all. I ended up having, the lower hand was only able to operate one note. I could just about do that. Anything more than that was quite painful. But I've just had the list of hymns, and it's like a sign, Shania. It's like a sign, because the first hymn that they've given me to play on Sunday... out of the entire hymn book and all hymns I've ever played in my life, they couldn't have chosen a better one. It's a sign. It's a sign from heaven above, boys and girls. Praise my soul, the King of heaven. That is my most confident hymn where I don't even have to look at the keyboard. Do you know what I mean? It really is. They couldn't have chosen, and I never hear this one sung there. Sometimes you're at church, I haven't heard that one for ages. I never ever hear this one sung there. And yet, this Sunday, they have selected the first hymn, Praise my soul, the King of heaven. Hymn number 807 in Laudate book. Have you got that one? It's the one with the green cover. So I can't believe it. When I saw that, I thought, you must be joking. Wow. So I'm really pleased about that. And then we've got hymn number 924, Brothers, Sisters, Let Me Serve You. Da 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 da. That one, right? And the last one is God da 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 da. Da 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 da. That one. God forgave my sin in Jesus' name. We only have 3 hymns at the 11 o'clock mass. So there we are. That's my selection. That's what I've been given for Sunday. So I hope that I'm going to be able to play on Sunday. I certainly couldn't play Wednesday night after I had the fall. Thursday, yesterday, I couldn't play last night. It's all right with this hand, and just about, if I'd been doing it for a few weeks, I could probably have got away with this hand and my foot, because I do use the foot pedals as well. But at the moment, it's touch and go. I'll try it again a little bit later on, but I think the secret is to rest this arm. And I'll tell you what happened in a minute. Let's just go through your messages as they're coming through this morning. By the way, we had a little bit of a false start this morning. If you're watching on YouTube, the first time I started, you couldn't see anything. And that's because I'm trying to set up a new YouTube channel. And I think I knocked the settings out, but I remembered what I'd done. So that's all back as what it was. So those of you on on Facebook would have seen the start of the show today, which suddenly stopped and restarted 10 minutes later. So that's what happened there. I had the wrong settings. So good morning to Shania, who says, I hope your wrist is better. Yes, it's getting there now. Thank you, Shania. Good morning to Eric Johnson. Good morning, Eric. Welcome back to the show, sir. Christopher Ireland is in the house. Hope you're feeling better. Thank you, Christopher. Adam the plumber's there. Good morning, Adam. Mike Flux in sunny Cyprus in Limassol, where I'm staying. I did have the name of the hotel here. I've put that down again somewhere. Oh, I don't know. Oh, here it is. the Pefkos Hotel, if you want to have a look. Pefkos. That's where I'm staying. I think it's 3-star. That's all right. 3-star. That does me. I don't need anything posh. Pefkos. Do you know that one? Mike, Pefkos Hotel. Morning to Michael Pullman. Good morning, Michael. I see that. I saw you did a little stream last night. I hope that went all right for you, Michael. I wasn't around to see it, unfortunately, but I did see that you'd done one at some point. Good morning, Vietnam! I mean Bracknell. You mean Bracknell. Dr. SOS Gregorian is in the house. Good morning to you. Hello to Jason Prince, who's watching in Hollywood. He's in Hollywood at the moment with far too much makeup on. What are you and that boy doing, dear? I mean, how much makeup can you put on your face, for Christ's sake? He's had his eyebrows done, his hair done, his makeup done. Jeez. Careless Whisper, not today. Oh, I've got a story about which relates to Careless Whisper, Jason, coming up in a minute. All that sort of thing. People are taking selfies now in saunas. Oh, yes, I'll come to that in a minute. Eric is a saxophone player. Eric. Saxophone, a beautiful instrument. But I'll tell you this story now, Eric. It won't take long. None of my stories take long. None of my stories are more than an hour long. I promise you that, okay? So my lovely neighbours next door, I've never heard a peep out of them. And I like to think that they've never heard a peep out of me. The houses that we're in, terraced. And the sound insulation is fantastic. So we don't really hear each other ever. And I never have done. But about 3 years ago, the lady decided to take up the saxophone. Oh, my God. And she could play it. She could play it. The only thing is, I don't know if it was the tone of it or what, but it went through my entire house. Not loud, but you see, I sleep in the afternoon. So the slightest noise, and I don't hear noise. I don't hear noise in this house ever. Very rare. Maybe children playing outside a little bit because there's a school playground, a primary school. Not too far. I can see it from my window. Sometimes I can hear them, but nothing to write home about. But the saxophone, it used to go for the entire house. And she did say, if you hear it, please let us know. So I did let her know. She said, I'll try playing in the kitchen. Well, her kitchen is here. Say her kitchen is here. No, her kitchen. 1 minute. Right, there we are. 2 houses, okay? 2 houses. So, can you see that? Her kitchen would be there, okay? There, right? My bedroom is here. And she said, well, I'll try playing it in the kitchen, right? So she played that in the kitchen. It's 2 houses. I'm quite good at drawing, aren't I? That's 2 houses, that is. I didn't do very well at technical drawing. So they're the 2 houses. And she tried it in there. No, it just came through the whole house. Oh, and I said, no, I can still hear it. And she said, well, tell us when you're asleep and I won't play it at that time. And immediately that cured the problem because she just didn't. And she would never want to upset me. It's just one of those things. But it must be something with the saxophone that it really carries through buildings. So an instrument that I love. There's a song. More like, got no words to it, that you may or may not know as a saxophone player. I highly recommend you have a listen to it. It's like a pop song. It's Gato Barbieri. I think that's the name of the artist. Gato. Gato Barbieri or something like that. I'm not sure the surname. Gato something. And the piece of music is called Firepower. Firepower. Have a listen to that. It's really good. Tony Blackburn used to use it years ago as the bit of background music for his top 40 countdown. So he said, at number 40, down 2 places from last week's number 38, it's the Nolans. I'm never going to dance again. Da-da-da-da-da. Da, 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 da. A really fantastic piece of music. Gato Barbieri, Firepower. Have a little listen to that. All right, sir. Sorry, let's just scroll back there. Where are we going now? Careless, a saxophone player. Shania, good choice of hymns. Yes, I don't choose those, Shania. They're given to me. But the priest did say to me, if I can't do any of them or I find any of them too difficult, to simply just change them. Okay? That the list of hymns comes from one of the important people. It comes from one of the important people, Shania. Good morning, Diane Strelly. Good morning, Diana. You're right, sweetheart. Mark Kepner is there. It's jumping about a bit this morning. Sorry. Sad about Peter Talk. Yeah, one of the monkeys died, didn't they? Funny. I was watching the news this morning. I thought there'd be a big thing about that. And no, it didn't get mentioned at all while I was watching the news this morning. But Peter Talk, my favourite monkey from, of course, you know, the group and the Monkeys TV series. He was the funny one, wasn't he, Peter Talk? Yeah. Liked him very much. Very, very good looking in the 70s, wasn't he? As a young boy, I used to fancy him. Yeah, I did. It's true. Jason is not into sauna sacks. Thank you, Mike. Pef Cost Hotel is 53 minutes walking distance from me. Oh, I won't be walking to you then, mate. 53 minutes, dear. In that heat. Morning to Kevin Webster. Also on the Facebook Live. And Andy is in the house. Good morning, Andy. Over on YouTube, John Paris. Is that your townhouse, Chris, in the intro clip? I imagine you in a mansion. Yes, that's my townhouse, John. That's my townhouse. That is the studios of United Kingdom. Right at the very end, where it zooms in on a window, that's where I am. Okay, that is where I am. Morning to Claire. No programme yesterday. Correct. Poor old me sprained my wrist. Poor old me. Claire, let me see. John says, all I see, you sprained your wrist opening your wallet. We don't like to open that, dear. Ever. I don't like to open the wallet. You know that. You absolutely know that. Right. Brendan Brady fan, good morning to you. Hello to Peter Lake. Morning, Peter, who says it's very nice outside in Woodhall Spa. I'm taking the dog out for a walk later. You have a nice walk out there, Peter. There's nothing wrong with taking a little dog out for a walk. Peter sends some pictures of a saxophone there as well. And texting in this morning, we have lovely Maureen. Good morning, Maureen. Hope you're well on this rather foggy, actually. It's not too bad now. It's a little bit worse earlier. The fog was hanging around earlier around all the tops of the trees, so but it's cleared up now. Good morning, Maureen. And Peter is liking the shirt and jacket this morning. Yeah, I've gone for the zip today. We've gone for the zip look. The zip look. There's a lot of people like to zip me up, I think. Morning to Billy Mack. Morning, Billy. About time you came in for another sing-song, mate. Billy says it's very foggy in Brighton this morning as well. Thank you. All right. Mike lives opposite the beach. Is that right? Oh, how lovely. How lovely. What's the property prices like in Cyprus? Is it expensive to live there? Or the cost of living? What's it like there? Michael says his live stream last night was around 12 o'clock today. So 7:20 or so. I would have been asleep at that time, wouldn't I? They've got a cyclone coming towards Queensland. You get a few of those there, don't you? Cyclone. Close the windows, dear. Close all the windows. Yes. So, now what do you want first? The sauna story or the wrist story? Let me give you the sauna story, which is in this morning's Daily Mail. And it says, in recent months, celebrities are non-stars. They're people that want to be stars, but they don't really have the talent to become stars. There's a big difference between celebrities and stars. A star is Barry Manilow, Elton John, Rod Stewart. They are stars, okay? Celebrities are Gemma Collins, anyone from any of the reality series, Mark Wright. They want to be stars, but unfortunately, they don't have the talent to get there. That's the difference, okay? Now, in the Daily Mail this morning, it says, in recent months, celebrities have been flocking to Instagram. I'm on Instagram. Did you know that? I'm on Instagram. I do a little Instagram video. I think it's Instagram anyway. What's the one where you do the little, well, I've been putting the little videos up. Is that Instagram? I don't know what it is. Hang on a minute. It was just something I downloaded. I've had it before and I couldn't remember that I had it, and I re-downloaded it. Yes, Instagram. If you want to join me on Instagram, same name as my Facebook, YouTube and Twitter, Chris Reardon UK. All right? Chris Reardon UK. It says, in recent months, celebrities have been flocking to Instagram to share steamy bikini selfies. In the literal sense of the word. Now, I'm considering doing this myself now. Stars including British singer Rita Ora and Love Island favourite Olivia Buckland. Oh, I like her. She's fab, isn't she? And even those further afield, such as American model Ashley Graham, have been sweating it out in the sauna to get the perfect picture selfie. And the newest trend is the infrared sauna. I've never heard of this, an infrared sauna. Have you heard of this? Anyway, this is the glow bar being a particular celebrity favourite, which I hope Gemma Collins don't go there. Christ, won't be room for anyone else, will there? Blimey. Particular celebrity favourite, which promises to heat up your muscles with less stress, perfect for makeup-conscious celebrities. Yeah, you'll be all right there, Jason. Infrared sauna. It's all right. It's all right for people with lots of makeup on. You and your mate. Is it something London? His name is, isn't it? Is he watching as well this morning? How much makeup you got on there, Ollie? Jeez. Love the song, by the way. Perfect. Perfection. Love the song. I've been listening to it. Traditional saunas use stones or a stove to heat up water and create steam, which humidify the room at around 80 to 100 degrees centigrade, which is hot. Believe me, I've sat in a sauna before. It's hot. You don't last more than a few minutes in those. Some people are in there for ages. I don't think it's very good to be in a sauna for so long, but you do feel good when you come out. Although I'm not one to be in a sauna and then plunge myself under a very cold shower. I don't understand people that do that. No, I said to you the other week, the Norwegians, they all got their own little saunas in little wooden huts, haven't they? They go in there in the middle of in the winter, sit in there for 20 minutes, and then throw open the doors and roll around in the snow. What the hell's all that about? So much pain and suffering, for what purpose? Don't understand it at all. Very strange. Good morning to Paul in Amsterdam, on his 65-inch telly this morning, am I? Good morning, Paul. Very, very strange. Okay. It says, meanwhile, infrared saunas only heat up the room 40 to 60 centigrade. Now, we might be able to cope with that and use infrared energy to directly heat up your skin and muscles without heating up the air around you, meaning users can spend more time relaxing and taking pictures. Now, it says in the Daily Mail there are health benefits of saunas, including the release of toxins. God knows how many toxins are in the ones I've sat in before. Including the release of toxins through sweat, healthier skin, weight loss, a strengthened immune system, and relief from sore muscles and even arthritis. And then it's got lots of pictures of celebrities getting all their body out and this, that, and the other. And honestly, so there we are. Sauna selfies are the latest thing there, which is very, very interesting. Sauna selfies are the way. So I may be taking my camera down to Chariots at some point, I suppose. Not sure about that. Okay. Good morning to Ray Reynolds. Morning, Eric. Morning, Eric. Eric likes that song. Ray Reynolds is in the house. Good morning, Ray. Mike says Cyprus used to be cheap to live before they joined the EU. Exactly. Exactly. This is where part of my beef with the whole EU thing is why is everything so expensive? Look at the people in Greece. Look at what they've had to go through. Why? Because they were a member of the EU. It's terrible. They didn't even have drugs to treat people who were sick. Disgusting. Cost of living in Cyprus is very expensive and rents are very high. Wages do not reflect the cost of living. Limassol is the most expensive place in Cyprus, so it's quite an expensive place to live, isn't it? According to Mike there. Gosh, that's a lot. That's a lot of money, isn't it? All right. Now, so let me tell you, boys and girls. Wednesday night, I was mucking around on my organ downstairs, my keyboard. It's not specifically an organ. It's like a piano with an organ function on it and strings and all that business. The church organ on there sounds pretty good. And I thought it might be a good idea to do another YouTube channel, not like this, but literally just me sitting at my keyboard playing the organ. Now, I play by ear. I can't really read music, so I listen to something and then I play it. Generally, people who play by ear, such as myself, we will all play whatever we're playing slightly different from each other. It could be said, actually, that even if you read music, you know, each person will play whatever they're playing slightly different from the other one, but more so with people playing by ear. Basically, I listen to a song, I hear the tune in my head, and I play it with this hand, and this hand I make up the chords and that. I don't know how, but it just kind of follows. All right. I don't know how that works. I don't think about it. It just kind of follows on its own. So that's how I play my instruments, and I play mainly. I play a lot of religious music, hymns, church stuff, that sort of thing. And I thought, well, I go online sometimes, and if there's a hymn I don't know, I watch it on YouTube. The only thing is, sometimes it might be like just someone playing a guitar or someone singing a cappella, and I'm like thinking, oh no, where's the organ version of this? And you scroll and you can't find one. So I thought, well, I'll just start doing them myself. Oh, literally, I thought to myself, I'll put a camera up, my little camera up there, and literally just point it at the keyboard. I won't talk. Not going to talk. I just play the keyboards, put a title on there so people know what it was, and upload it. So on the YouTube, I did add account. I think I've done this right. I'll have to speak to my brother-in-law because he'll know. I've added account, and I've added religious music and hymns. Right? Now, I don't know how you will find this, to be honest. I've not worked out what the channel is called yet. But I'll get round that somehow. I might have to ask my brother-in-law, how do you get the title in there? Because obviously, if you're watching me on YouTube now, you know the channel is Chris Reardon UK. But you can't see the hymn up there that I've already uploaded, can you? See, that shouldn't be on there. It should be on its own channel. But I can't find out what the channel is called. It's just a list of numbers and letters at the moment, so I've got to look at that. So I did that, and I played it back, and I thought, oh, I don't know about the sound. Perhaps I can make the sound a bit better. Maybe I can plug it straight into the keyboard, and I'm looking around for a cable. I couldn't find. It's funny. I used to have so many of these cables with the mini jack and the 2 phono plugs at the end. You know that cable? I used to have so many of them, and I couldn't find one anywhere. And I come up here to the office, and I had a look in it. I had my socks on. Okay, I had my socks on. Now, in the hall part of my house, downstairs, is a shiny, like a wooden floor. I mean, it's not parquet. It's not like expensive parquet flooring, like blocks of wood. You know, the thin stuff, and it's very shiny on the top. And I'd already noticed, for some reason, and it's never usually this slippery, but it seems particularly slippery for the last couple of days for some reason. Whereas I'd literally walk on it and nearly slip over with my socks on. I do have slippers, but you know how it is. Can't find your slippers. Oh, I can't be bothered. You walk out. And I'd already found it a bit slippery over the last few days. So I've come up here, couldn't find it. I got the ladder out, went up in the loft, had a good look. I got 2 massive boxes of wires. Can't find one in there either. So I'll probably have to order one. I mean, of course, we used to be able to just go down to Maplin's. That's gone now. You don't want to buy these cables in somewhere like Curry's because they charge you £10 for something like that. It's outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. So I'll have to order them off online or something like that. And I've come back downstairs, and I'm coming down the stairs. I've got to the step at the bottom. I didn't fall down the stairs. I want to point that. And I didn't fall all the way down the stairs. I've got to the bottom step, and I've got something in my hand, and I've put my heel down on the shiny wooden floor, and I've gone. I've gone hard as well. In front of me is a lovely rubber plant that Ray Reynolds gave me a couple of years ago. That's gone over, earth all over the floor. The plastic tray, that holds the water underneath the plant, that's all got smashed. And I'm like, oh, God, I was in such blooming pain. I tell you. Eventually I got up, and I thought, well, not too much damage done. I haven't been knocked out. I'm not bleeding anywhere. I had a sore elbow, which I've still got now. That's a bit sore. And my wrist was hurting, but I thought, that's hurting a bit. It'll be all right later. So I thought no more of it. Carried on, made me dinner, went into the living room. I've carried the tray in, no problem at all. Watched a couple of hours of television. I can't remember what I watched now. Doesn't matter. I watched, I think, Holby City or something like that. And then I thought, well, I'll just practice these hymns before I go to bed. I've already practiced them once. I practiced them, and that was okay. But this was hurting a little bit. I thought, oh, that hurts a little bit. Probably be all right tomorrow. And that was it. Went into bed, and I was having trouble sleeping again for some reason. Oh yeah, that's right. I was having a little bit of pressure. I get pressure here. I've got a burst appendix, right? About 20 years ago, and sometimes I get pressure here. I'll show you where here. I get pressure here. So when you're laying on your front, it feels like you're laying on something, and then on your side or on your back, and it kind of sinks down, and you feel like you're lying it on your back again. It's like there's a bag of water or air or something in there, right? So I've already made an appointment with the doctor about that particular thing. Very quick as well. I got a phone call from the doctor the other day, and I rang about 9:30 in the morning, asked for a phone call. Yes, okay. He rang about 11 o'clock, and he said, okay. He said, well, I'll come in and have a little feel around for you. You can come in today if you want, 2:20. And by now, sorry, he didn't ring at 11. It was about 1 o'clock. He said, you can come in today about 2:20, or you can leave it till tomorrow morning. Do you think it's urgent? I said, no, I don't think it's urgent. This is something that keeps coming and going. He said, okay, leave it till tomorrow morning, 8:30. All right, okay. So Wednesday came. So we're on, what are we on now? We're on Wednesday. Okay, so I've got into bed Wednesday night. And I'm pulling up the covers. Now, this is now starting to, like 2 hours after the fall, this is now starting to hurt. And it was hurting quite a lot. And that's what kept me awake, right? Because I had to have it in a certain way for it not to be hurting. And every time, of course, I don't know about you, but I turn over in bed a lot. I'm not like in one position all the time. I turn it, and every time you turn over, you're trying to do everything with this hand without trying to move this. And I thought, oh, God. Can't believe this. And I did drop off a few times, only to be woken up by the pain in my wrist. So I've got up in the morning because I set the alarm for 7 o'clock yesterday morning, so I could go to the doctor for 8:30 with this thing. So and I'm in pain with this. I can't do anything now with this hand. Okay, I could perhaps lift a little card like that or something light, but to actually open the handle on a door, no, that's not happening. I didn't have the as soon as you put any pressure on it, it was really hurting badly. So literally I'm trying to put my coat on with one arm, you know, because I couldn't pull it with this arm. Oh, it's horrendous. Left the house, went down to the doctor. I had an 8:30 appointment. I get there about 8:15. I'm always very early for appointments. Got in there about 8:15. Sat down. There's only one other bloke in there. The receptionist was very busy because apparently 2 of the doctors had called in sick. So she's on the phone trying to arrange different appointments for everyone else, and she's ringing, I suppose, the other doctor's list of patients that were coming in. 8:30 comes, beep, beep, Christopher Reardon to examination room 8, please. So I went round there, sat down there. He said, hello, Mr. Reardon, it's your stomach, is it? I said, well, it is, but I think I might have to change what you're looking at today because I've fallen down yesterday. I've really hurt. He said, okay, let's have a look then. So he's doing that, and then he starts pushing me. Does that hurt? Does that hurt? Oh, right, okay. He said, I'm going to send you to Heatherwood Hospital, which is not far from me. He said, for an x-ray this morning. All right, okay. He said, you may have a fracture in there. He said, I'm not sure. Best to get it photographed and just do it. I said, is it not just sprained badly? He said, it might be. He said, but it might be a fracture as well. So best to send you down there to have the x-ray to see if it needs to be strapped up or not. So that's that. And he said, okay, I said, do you want me to rearrange an appointment for the stomach? He said, no, go and lay up there and I'll have a look now. And he starts pushing around. He said, okay. He said, what's that? I said, burst appendix. He said, oh, is that a long time ago? I said, yeah, about 20 years. Ah, right, okay. So he says, is this a new thing that's happening? I said, no, to be honest, it's come and gone for the last few years. It blows up and then within 2 or 3 days it goes back down again. It's like it was never there. He said, okay. So the doctor told me the stomach thing is possibly some minor adhesions that apparently you get whenever you have like an appendix removed or some work in that area. He said, really, you just need to just accept that that's how it is now. He said they really don't like opening you up in hospitals unless you absolutely need to be opened up, and it's not necessary in this case. Give it a few more days. If you're still having a problem, he said, and you want to come in again, then fine, but it'll probably go back down again on its own. Okay. He said, but it is only minor adhesions. If it was any worse, you'd be having trouble, clearing out and that sort of thing. And he, is everything all right with that? And is everything all right with your water works? Yes. And is everything all right with the other bit? I said, yes, that's all working fine. He said, no, I wouldn't worry about it. He said, it's just something you'll have to put up with. Okay, thank you very much. So from there, and this was all very quick, very, very efficient, very efficient. From there, I got back here and I went to Heatherwood Hospital, which is only like 10 minutes up the road. As luck would have it, the roads was jammed. This is like 10. What was it about now? About 9 o'clock in the morning. There must have been some accident on the motorway and the dual lane that comes out of Bracknell. Oh, so I sat in this traffic then for only 10 minutes. But nevertheless, it was moving. Got to the hospital, driving round the car park. I was still able to drive, you see, because there's not much pressure on there. You're just holding this was the hand that was doing most of the work, so that was okay. And I've not got gears. If you've not got gears, there's nothing for this hand to do, really, other than gently hold the steering wheel. Park the car, £3. Honestly, £3.20 for 2 hours in the car park. And not only that, there's only one machine. So you've got this one machine where there's a queue of people putting their money in this bloody machine to park their cars. And it's £3.40 at Heatherwood Hospital for half an hour up to 2 hours. That's what the cost is there. So eventually I got my ticket and I went in reception, X-ray this way. Oh, okay. Went straight down to X-ray. And I said, hello, it's Mr. Reardon, come for an X-ray. What's your date of birth? Oh, this is so. She's typing in. She said, okay, if you just take that there. I said, oh, does it all come straight up? She said, yeah. Because I said, before I left the doctor's, I said, do you want to give me a letter or something? He said, no, it's all gone over on an email. And I thought, oh, well, I bet that won't get there. Well, it did. As she got there, she has all my details. Gives me this little card to go around the corner and sit down. No one else in this waiting area at all. While I'm sitting there, about 2 minutes later, an elderly couple came in. They sat down on the other side. And you know what I'm like. I start talking. We start talking. We have a little bit of a conversation about things. And within a minute or so, I was called in. And you go in the big room and you sit there and you put your arm sort of like that. You see, I'm having trouble doing that, bending it outwards, right? So you put it down there like that, and she takes a photograph. A great big machine comes over, and the old fan comes on, doesn't it, in the machine. Like that goes. That's it, it's done. And she pointed it round that way as well, and they took a photograph like that downwards. So that was done. And then she said to ring the doctor this morning, which I will do when I finish the show today, to see if there's any problems, whether I have to go in and have it, a cast or something like that to keep it in position. I'm hoping I don't. It certainly does hurt to move it in certain positions at the moment. It's much, much better than it was yesterday morning, though, because I could barely move it yesterday morning. And I can now pick up things that are slightly heavier, but not. I still can't pull down a handle at the moment on the door. So that's where we are at the moment. All right, I came back here. I took it really easy yesterday. I can't really go swimming because I can't pull myself. I could walk up and down the pool. Some people do that, but I can't pull myself through the water with this arm. That being said, I've seen people in the swimming pool who have clearly had strokes and things like that, and they've lost that side of their body, and they just do it with one arm and one leg, which is I find amazing, really. Come back here, watch some telly, had bad food, biscuits and things like that. I thought, I can't be bothered to do any cooking now. I just weren't up for it. Had some bad food, biscuits, some bits of cheese and stuff like that. And I went to bed about 2:15. Went back to bed about 2:15 in the afternoon. Got up again at 6 o'clock. I watched some television. And then I thought, well, I'll have a walk over to my mate's house. So I went over to Ronnie's house and we watched the end of that film that I told you about on Netflix, The Butler. Oh, amazing film. And it's basically about this chap who's black, who becomes a butler, and he gets spotted by the White House. He goes into the White House and becomes like the main butler in the White House for a while. And it's also about the terrible things that happen to black people in America in those olden times, how they were just treated like dirt and animals, basically. And it's very, very sad watching what happened to these people, and they weren't allowed to sit in certain areas on the bus and cafes. It's just all a load of crap. It really is how people were treated like that in those days. And of course, I'm sure it still goes on today in some countries. You know, it's just horrendous watching it. And his son becomes a black activist, and he gets killed. Oh, no, he gets, I beg your pardon. No, one of the sons becomes a black activist, and the other one goes to fight the war in Vietnam, and he gets killed in Vietnam. It's a very, very good film. And if you don't know what happened to black people in America in those times, please watch that film. It makes you cry. It really does. How people how certain races can treat other races like that. It's like the whole Jewish thing, you know, the Jewish people and the Nazis in Germany. I mean, there's some horrendous films that should be watched. You know, you won't feel great after watching one of these films. Two films in particular, Schindler's List, which you may well have seen, and The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. That's even worse than Schindler's List. It's even worse. But two very, very well made films, and The Butler with the whole black. I'm sure there's many, many more films that will show you what happened to black people in those times. I don't think I've seen one how they were treated here many years ago. Can't think of one that I would have seen about what happened to them here, but certainly I've seen a few of the American ones, and it's just awful. It really is. But you should watch these films because they inform you of what happened all those years ago. So I watched that at my mate's house. Then I came back here. I thought, well, I'll just try the organ again, and it was painful working that hand. Then I went to bed, and here I am this morning. So that's the story of the wrist story. the wrist story. There we are. All right, let's go back to some of your messages then, gang, over on YouTube. Where are we now? Mike, on your YouTube account, you can select my channel, and in the address bar should show your channel name. So on the YouTube account, you can select my channel. Okay, let's try it. YouTube. Right, hang on. I'll be with you in a moment. I have already uploaded a test video there. Good morning to Right Side Up. Join us on the Vaughan Live this morning. Okay, so YouTube on there. My channel. Okay. Hang on a minute. Let me just change something. I need to change the... Right, so that's... So I've got two things now on the right-hand side under that the picture of yourself. Okay, so my channel, let's see. Hang on a minute. Try and get that out. Try and get that out. Come on. I'm just switching to classic version. That might give us the... See if I can... Right, my channel. Okay, so I've got my channel. I've done what you said there, but it's just a list of letters and numbers. It says youtube.com/channel, and then it says UCAR, capital, DNNBY, blah, 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 and on and on. So I don't know. It doesn't seem to have a channel name at the moment. Doesn't have a channel name. It's just a list of letters and numbers. Do I have to name it somewhere? Is that what I have to do? Maybe I have to name it somewhere. What do you reckon, Mike? Maplin was awesome. Used to be called Tandy back in the day. Yes, Tandies. Oh, you get anything in Tandies. I like the little model kits. I think I made a clock. I made a clock at some point with those little kits that you can put in Tandies. You can, of course, still get a lot of these electronic kits online. But you can't browse, can you? You can't browse for a shop and look at stuff with those things. Thank you. Shania says try getting a wrist support. Yeah, maybe that the doctor tells me that this morning. I don't know when I ring him up after the show. Morning to Alan Russell. Good morning, Alan. Jason Carter is in the house. Good morning, Jason. And David Wilson Boyer, who's in Switzerland. That's where all the money is. They got all the money in Switzerland. Morning, David. All right there. Mike says quite rightly, hospital parking is a rip-off in the UK. Is it in Scotland they don't have any hospital parking? I think Christopher Ireland, if he's still with us, perhaps he can answer that. I'm sure there's no hospital parking fees in Scotland. I'm not sure. Andy, 12 Years a Slave is like that, Chris. Very good film. 12 Years a Slave, but again, you said it leaves you in tears. Yes, it does. All those sort of things leave you in tears, but I do think they need to be watched by people. Let's have a look there. Where are we now? Peter hasn't been sleeping very well either. He keeps waking up at 3 in the morning. Yeah, well, I don't mind waking up once in the morning, for a wee, and then as long as I get back to sleep again. But I've been having nights where I just keep waking up, and it's annoying, isn't it? Thank you. Ray's noticed his orchid is looking good. Yeah, I've put it there because there's a red box behind it, and it's showing up now. Ray, so I've got your orchid behind us there this morning. Morning to Paul and Lou. Very late. Oh, aren't you late this morning, dear? Is it like your way of punishing me for not being here yesterday? Is that why you've come on late there? Hello to Joanna. All right, Joanna. I might have said hello to you already. Right Side Up says, I agree. Watching those movies is important. It's hard to believe there are people around who actually deny the Holocaust even happened. I just don't get that. How can you deny the fact that millions and millions of people were killed? I just don't get that at all, do you? Those Jewish people were just murdered. They just tried to destroy an entire race of people. Terrible. Terrible. Right Side Up says, are you Jewish? Are you, by the way? My best friend is Jewish. Ronnie is Jewish. My family had soldiers who died in the war. Yes, it happened. Yes, it absolutely did. It did. Mike's going to have a look on his laptop. Oh, thank you, Mike. Oh, I'll have to carry on now. I'll have to carry on with the show and make it a little bit longer just so you can look up that stuff for me. Otherwise, it might assist me. Maybe I have to give it a name somehow to change the URL from a string of letters and numbers to a memorable name. That's what I want to do there. Thank you, Mike. Carry on. Carry on. Yes, Martin, it's recovering slowly. I can't move my hand properly in certain directions at the moment. My dear friend Duke, Chris, young lad, he used to be a medic, and he said, I'd bet money that you fractured, there's 3 little bones here apparently, and he reckons I might have fractured 1 or 2 of them there. So it's a little hairline type thing, isn't it? The latest news on BBC, Chris, that churches no longer have to hold Sunday services. The world is changing so fast I can't keep up. Which churches? What all? Well, which ones? Catholic, Church of England? Must be Church of England. Or has that come from the Pope? I'm not sure where that's come from, that piece of information. Do let us know, sir. Do let us know. All right. Some news stories this morning, and this is very worrying. This is in the Daily Mirror this morning. Terrifying technique burglars are now using to break into homes. Now, have a little listen to this. You'll be very surprised. Police are becoming increasingly worried about a terrifying new technique burglars are using to break into people's homes. 2 men wearing balaclavas were caught on camera using a blowtorch to burn off the locks on the front door of a family home in Bradford. Once inside, they grabbed a set of car keys and stole a 30,000 Audi S3 Quattro. Is it Quattro or Quattro? Even using the torch to defrost the windscreen before driving off. Police say the technique is becoming increasingly common as thieves come up with new and unusual ways to break into properties. The latest incident, which happened at 4 o'clock in the morning, follows a spate of similar crimes across the north of England. Police believe criminals are targeting homes with PVC doors, melting the locks to gain entry to the property. It's just dreadful. This bloke who's 41, he owns the car in the latest incident, said the police had been unable to find any evidence at the scene due to burnt out locks. She said, I'm so angry, it's unbelievable. I'm off to work at the moment. Because I'm off work at the moment, I'm furious, it's a violation. They came into our house with blowtorches, for God's sake. I work in a local school. There's not many women who drive high-powered cars, so lots of people know who I am. You see, you see, there's a thing there about having a flash car, isn't there? You know, like a BMW or a Jaguar or a Rolls Royce or something like that. I just think it attracts attention, don't you? I mean, to have such a car, you have to have a lot of money. I mean, you really do. I mean, I've got a large car, but it's only a Toyota. You know, it's not exactly an expensive car that I have. But to have like a flash car parked outside your house, I think you're asking for trouble, to be honest. She says, we were advised by police that if burglars break in, they'll come and wake you up for the car keys if they can't find them, and they might hurt you. So every night we leave the keys on the stairs so that they don't come and threaten us. I mean, that's what it's just dreadful. And that's exactly what they did. It says they searched our coats, stole our wallets, and then started coming upstairs. Oh. Well, it don't say anything. Don't say anything about them. That's all she says. It doesn't say anything about them coming up the stairs. But it says there they started coming upstairs, and then the conversation stops for some reason. Police in Bradford warned of at least 8 incidents where a blowtorch was used to gain access to a house. Other burglaries involving the flamethrowers have been reported in other areas. And dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. So blowtorch, that's a new way of getting into your house, isn't it? Blowtorches, my word. Morning to Maureen. Maureen says, I hope to see you later. The doctor says I've had the flu. It's left me a bit breathless. Ooh. I'm having to have a 24-hour heart cuff test. Oh, I don't know what that is. Is that where you attach to some sort of machine, Maureen? I would assume a heart cuff test, like one of those machines with like 1,000 wires coming off it. Oh, dear. She's got to have a 24-hour heart cuff test. I'm waiting for the results of the blood test. So there we are. Maureen, if you're not well, please don't come, darling. You know, it's not worth risking your health just to come and sing a couple of songs. You know, another couple of days and it'll be Monday again, and I'm sure you'll be in full voice by then. I mean, if you want to come, feel free, but don't risk your health just to come out and sing a couple of songs, my love. It's not worth it. Leave it another couple of days. You'll probably be much better by Monday. All right? But if you come, be nice to see you, darling. Okay? Let's see. It's Church of England. Church of England don't have to do their services on a Sunday anymore. Well, if they do them during the week, there won't be anyone there. Church of England, they do have a problem with the congregation sizes. My personal opinion of that is because they keep changing it. They keep changing what they do. People get used to something. They don't like it when things change. The Church of England are constantly moving along, modernising. Oh, one could argue they're just trying to modernise with the times. I get that. It's one of those things. Good morning to Michaela. Morning, Michaela. I think she'll be there tonight, singing a little heart out. Good morning, Michaela. And Abdulaziz. Good morning to Abdulaziz as well. Let's have a look there. Claire says, have a look at Aircast wrist supports. They are excellent. Different ones for left and right hand. Aircast. Oh, I'll make a note of that. I might go to... Did I have that in a chemist? Aircast. I can do things with this now. Whether or not I'm going to be able to push notes down, I don't know, but I'll give it another go later. As I say, I'm in a bit of a quandary, really, whether to tell the church I may not, I won't be able to do Sunday because I've hurt my wrist, or sit it out and hope for the best and that it recovers. It's certainly 100 times better than it was yesterday. So on those things, I think it just depends whether I get the news from the doctor or not. If he says it's fractured, then then I might ring up the church and say, look, I fractured my wrist. And certainly if they put it in a cast, well, that's it then. I remember years ago at our church, I think it was the church, or it was either church or school, there was one bloke, he had one hand like this, and on his other hand, he only had 2 fingers, like the one at the end and that one. He used to play the organ, and you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know he had that disability, or that, well, not so much a disability. I don't like the word disability. He had that. His body was different to ours. And he just literally had 2 very small fingers. They were like that. And you wouldn't know. If you listened, you wouldn't know. It's only when you looked, oh, he's only got like 2 fingers on there. Very, very talented. I can't remember what his name was now. Don't remember his name now. All right. Okay, gang. Should we do one more story here? Let's have a look. Where's the other story? Oh, here's the other story. Again, it's from the Daily Mirror. I have to say, I think I probably get more interesting and unusual stories nowadays out of the Daily Mirror than any of the other papers. The Daily Mail seems to be totally obsessed by bloody celebrities all the time, who I certainly have hardly any interest in whatsoever. I really don't want to know that Gemma Collins is about to have a baby, or Cheryl Cole has just split her trousers up her arse where she's opened her legs too much while dancing. I've no interest in that, really. I haven't. Good morning, Chris Manzar. Good morning, Chrissy boy. Morning to you. Oh, by the way, when I've got the results from the doctor, I'll do a little Instagram video and let you know what the doctor says, okay? So keep an eye on that on the Instagram. My Instagram is Chris Reardon UK. Also appears on Twitter. Chris Reardon UK is my Instagram, okay? Daily Mirror. Here we go. Doctors were shocked after removing a pile of stones, bottle caps and coins from a man's stomach. The 54-year-old man was admitted to the hospital suffering from severe stomach pains and bloating. Concerned doctors ran a number of tests to see what might be the cause of the Korean patient's painful symptoms, and they noticed they could feel something resembling small stones when they touched his stomach. Scans then revealed a huge build-up of objects occupying the whole of the stomach of the patient. But the medics were left completely dumbfounded when they found a lump containing dozens of foreign objects. A collection of stones, bottle caps and coins weighing 4.4 pounds, that's 2 kilos, were pulled out of his stomach. That's a fair weight. 2 kilos is a fair weight. This extremely unusual case was published by Dr. Pyeon-Wai Choi in the American Journal of Medical Case Reports. The patient was thought to have swallowed the items over a long period of time as a way of dealing with anxiety. When he was questioned, the man confessed he often ingested coins and pebbles whenever he felt anxious, even though he took the drugs to keep calm. The man, believed to be from the capital of Seoul, was both born with an intellectual disability, so perhaps he wasn't too clever, not perhaps the full shilling there. At first, surgeons tried to remove the objects using a gastropathy, where they put a thing through the mouth, isn't it? But it failed due to the sheer amount of objects. It was not clear how many the man had swallowed. And the next day, surgeons extracted the foreign bodies one by one through a different surgical procedure. It doesn't say what, whether they opened his stomach or not. But I mean, why would you eat stones? Straight things. Bloke sits there to deal with his anxiety. I mean, you'd much rather open a bag of lemon sherbets or something like that, wouldn't you? Eh? Perhaps you could open a bag of lemon sherbets. Peter Lake, what time's the karaoke start tonight? It should be about 8:30. We'll be streaming the karaoke live, as always, at 8:30. All right? That's when it's on today. Okay, Mike says you have to name the YouTube channel one of my YouTube accounts. It shows the name and address bar on the second. Account shows letters, so the second channel I did not set up properly. I'm really sorry, Mike. I don't get what you're saying there. You have to name that. Well, I've got my YouTube channel is Chris Reardon UK. So that's what my main YouTube channel is. This is a separate account. But I don't see... You have to name the YouTube channel one of my YouTube accounts. It shows my name in the address bar. Okay. I'm sorry, Mike, I don't understand. It shows letters. So the second channel I just... let's type in my name and see what happens. No, I just see my United Kingdom talk and karaoke videos. That's all I can see. And then if I go across to the other account, then I can see that one thing. I don't know. I don't see how to do that. I'm going to have to ask my brother-in-law.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome.
Blimey, that's an old one. When was that out? My God, I've got hair in that one. And the picture's really bad. I don't know, Mike. I'm not getting that at all, mate. Not getting that at all. Never mind. I'm sure we'll sort it out in the end. All right, gang, let's do today's birthdays. We'll do yesterday's birthdays as well, because, of course, we weren't here yesterday. Happy birthday today, Friday the 22nd of February 2019. Thank you, Mike, for trying to help me there. To Laura Jo Cahill, who's 21 years old today. Happy birthday, Laura. All right. Cameile is 32 years old today. Happy birthday, Cameile. Joyce Barron is a young 92 years old today. Good morning, Joyce. That's a good old age, isn't it? Happy birthday, Joyce. Roberta Neal. Good morning, Roberta. Happy birthday to you. Helen Bambi. Good morning, Helen. A young 56 years old today. One of our Manalo ladies. Good morning, Helen. Nick is 47 years old today. So happy birthday to Nico. We'll do yesterday's birthdays as well, gang, as we weren't here yesterday. I don't like people to miss out. There was quite a few yesterday. Yesterday, Kelly Buckhorn. That's that's Saturday, isn't it? I've gone the wrong day now. Only 3 yesterday. The Reverend Ted Woodruff. Good morning to you, sir. 57. You're just a year above me. 57 years old today. Happy birthday, Rev Ted. Paul Boone. Yesterday was 50 years old. And Kiko Aguiar, I think it's Kiko Aguiar. It was his birthday as well yesterday. So happy birthday, gang. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, boys and girls. Have a lovely day on your birthdays, okay? Tonight, I'll be hosting karaoke. We've got a new poster there. Look, there we go. Happy birthday. Karaoke tonight is at Central Station Bar, our Friday night. Shut up, Joanna. Joanna puts her earplugs in whenever I start singing for some strange, unknown reason. Happy birthday, Joanna. Not happy birthday, Joanna. Shut up, Joanna. There we are. There's the karaoke tonight at Central Station Bar, 37 Wharfdale Road, King's Cross, every Friday, 8:30 until midnight. That's where our karaoke is this evening. Thanks, gang, for watching and joining the show today. I'm going to ring the doctor shortly after I've finished and see what he says. See if I need to have a plaster cast. I've never had a plaster cast. How exciting. You'll all have to come around and sign your name on there, won't you? Have a nice day. Thanks for watching and listening. Cheerio now.